News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Monica Rix. And that's your closing bell. Wall Street notching its best week since June, with the Nasdaq reaching all-time highs. It added 207 points, up 1%. The Dow also added 207 points, up about a half percentage point. The S&P notched 50 points, up 0.7%. The 10-year Treasury yield at 4.28%. The 2-year yield is at 3.76%. Gold futures are trading at 0.9% ahead of a potential tariff correction from the Trump administration. Bloomberg's Charlie Pellet tells us a new policy would clarify gold bars should not face duties.
It comes after the U.S. government stunned traders by ruling that they would be subject to duties. The White House intends to post an executive order in the near future to clarify what an official called misinformation about the tariffing of gold and other specialty products. Industry figures had previously understood that bars would be exempt from President Trump's so-called reciprocal tariffs, including 39% on goods from Switzerland, a major exporter of the precious metal. In New York, Charlie Pellet, Bloomberg Radio.
Washington and Moscow are now aiming to reach a deal to end the war in Ukraine. Under a proposed truce, Russia's President Putin is demanding Ukraine give up its entire eastern Donbas area, as well as Crimea, which his forces illegally annexed in 2014. Bloomberg's national security reporter Courtney McBride has the latest.
The president has emphasized his desire to bring about a quick end to the war, which has been going on for 3.5 years. And this idea of freezing the conflict certainly raises a lot of concerns for Ukraine and for allies around the world. But his goal, he has said, is to at least bring Putin to the table. The terms may change, but as of right now, they do not seem particularly favorable to Ukraine.
Bloomberg's Courtney McBride on Bloomberg Intelligence. It's unclear how things will proceed, but plans for a meeting between the leaders are seemingly still on. Israel says it'll take control of Gaza City, escalating its war with Hamas, amid concerns over the fate of remaining hostages and the ongoing humanitarian crisis. Bloomberg Israeli Bureau Chief Ethan Brommer tells us the move will displace more Palestinians.
What's going to happen now, in theory, is over the course of the coming weeks, Israel is going to forcibly displace the many hundreds of thousands of people who live in and around Gaza City to the south. In theory, they're going to also step up the provision of humanitarian aid to where those folks are headed, and then several, perhaps 6 divisions of Israeli soldiers are going to start moving into Gaza City and to try to dismantle whatever remaining infrastructure and Hamas command structure exists. That is the plan.
Bloomberg's Ethan Brommer reporting. Hamas has condemned Israel's planned takeover as a war crime and an act of ethnic cleansing against Palestinians. President Trump has removed Billy Long as head of the IRS, the move coming just 2 months after Long was confirmed as commissioner. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent will serve as acting commissioner until a permanent replacement's in place. The Trump administration also reportedly planning to sell stock in mortgage giants Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac soon. It's an offering that could raise around $30 billion and kick off later this year. It's unclear, though, whether the mortgage giants would IPO as one company or two. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem held a news conference in Chicago today to denounce the mayor and governor for refusing to collaborate with the feds on immigrant removals.
Nobody's getting swept up. We're running targeted enforcement operations across the country. We have those that have final removal orders. Their due process is over, and over 70% of these individuals arrested and removed from the country have had pending charges and criminal convictions against them.
For the first time in the past 3 months, Noem claims no one's crossed the border illegally into the United States.
There being 95 members present, a quorum is not present.
The Texas House failed again today to reach a quorum for a controversial vote on new congressional maps. It's prompted Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton now to file a lawsuit with the state Supreme Court seeking to declare 13 Democrat-held seats vacant. The lawmakers left the state to avoid the vote, but Democratic State Rep Chris Turner says they're going to keep fighting.
This president, Donald Trump, is afraid of the voters in 2026, and it's shameful that we have a governor in Greg Abbott who's unwilling to say, don't mess with Texas. That's what the governor should have said, and this conversation never would have started, but here we are.
The redrawn maps would give Republicans another 5 seats in Congress in next year's midterm elections.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And astronaut James Lovell has died. He was one of NASA's most experienced astronauts, going into space 4 times, including as commander of the 1970 Apollo 13 mission that managed to get back to Earth safely after an oxygen tank blew.
Hey, Houston, we've had a problem here.
NASA confirmed Lovell's death today in a statement, praising his strength under pressure. He was 97. That's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Monica Rix, and this is Bloomberg.